Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? Oh, it's so good to see you all. Okay, we are in. Hey, Valentina. I was just thinking about you. I was thinking about you yesterday. We are in Thursday, and my thing is gonna die. Okay, I think I have 18. I have 18%. That'll do it. Um. Okay. And I'm back live on YouTube. I have not been live on YouTube. Thank you, right? I love these earrings. They were $20. I love a good deal for something really cute. At a place called Africa and Me. Isn't that amazing? Um, so we are in a Jupiter day. Jupiter is the planet that governs Sagittarius. It also governs the ninth house. So that's the house that rules our connection to the globe, to our global identity. But really, the thing that's most significant about Jupiter in the ninth house is this connection to your spirituality. It's how you access God. Jupiter is like, how do you, and that's unique for everyone. No one else can tell you how to get to God. That's why it's so, when I think about growing up in Christianity, growing up in Christianity and sitting in a congregation listening to a man preach from a book that was written by who knows who, preaching and telling people how to access God. Now that I understand my own way to get to God, it's laughable that we have been telling people that you have to believe in Jesus, or you have to do this, or you have to no sin, you can't have sex, you can't eat this, you can't, these are the things that are going to get you to God. All of that is all gossip. Is what it is. It's hearsay. It's hearsay, and it has no value for anything other than this experience of community. It's really a communal experience that just is about us coming together. A it's not about a prescription or a guide to God at all. That's not what I experience. Maybe everyone else, I would imagine everybody's experience is different. But what I'm trying to say is the way you access God is intimate and personal and specific to you. It is intimate and personal and specific to you. It will vary, like sometimes people might have a similar way. Like I do it by actually following the stars. That's how I access God, because I know that the creator created this system, and the creator made it all possible. So that's one of the ways that I can access God, by studying the things that God created. Now here's the thing, God is the creator of everything. So I could access God by studying the human body, or by studying trees, or you could do it however you're called to do it. I'm called to do it through cosmology and through astrology. And the reason is because I'm very interested in human beings. I'm excited and enthralled with the human experience. And what I've discovered is that our natal charts tell our stories. The natal chart tells the story, or a foundational aspect of it that then is about this human experience. So that fascinates me. That's why I'm drawn to God through cosmology and astrology. And it has helped me really understand the specifics of my own path, what I need to do for my personal path. Before I started studying astrology, I didn't know the specifics. I was just out here willy-nilly, like, oh, they said that we should get married. Okay, let me find a husband. They said that we should do this. Okay, let me do that. because I was in that general congregational experience where it's like everybody does this to get to God, but all those things that I would do, they never worked for me. So I would do them and then just feel like, what's wrong with me because it's not working. But the reason it was not working because it wasn't for me. It worked for some, but it didn't work for me because I have a unique and specific way to access God. Many of us and most of us do, honestly. So when I started reading my astrology, I learned things like, oh, the way that my mind works. Oh, my mind works this way because I have Mercury in Libra in the seventh house. This is why I'm always thinking about other people's stuff. Somebody tells me something, I'm thinking about it, trying to figure it out, trying to help them get clear. But because my Mercury is in the seventh house in Libra, and my emotions are attached to other people and their experiences, because I also have Venus there. So, oh, that's why I do that. That's why I'm always thinking about somebody else and trying to help people because my Mercury and Venus are in the seventh house in Libra. That's why. Oh, okay. Oh, I have the sun in Virgo. My life is like I have to heal myself because I have the sun in Virgo in the sixth house. That's why it always seems like I have a lot of problems. Pisces ascendant, a lot of stuff just coming to me, piling up on me. Why? Because my sun is in the sixth house with Virgo and the Pisces rising is bringing in all this stuff. So then I got to look at my life and see, oh, this is why things are happening this way. Oh, and then I was trying to fix it, but I couldn't fix it. How come I can't fix it? How come I can't fix it? Because I have Saturn in the first house. Delays. The only way you're going to fix this is by really learning who you are. You can't just fix this by being in reaction and panicking and think if you do this and if you do that, if you do this. But you think you can, but Saturn in the first house says you're going to have to study yourself, learn your identity, discover who you are, spend your time slow down. My chart taught me how to access God by accessing myself. Taught me how to get close to God by accessing myself. What is God? God is a creator. God is a creator. What are we? Made in the image and likeness of God? We too are creators. It's as simple as that. So, however you need to get to God is personal to you. Nobody can tell you what that is. It's your own individual journey. Your astrology can help you see the specifics of it so that you don't have to spend your time, you're never wasting time anywhere. Just for where are the kitties? They're over there. But you're never wasting time. There is never a waste in time, honestly. So sometimes we feel like, oh, it's a waste. It's like none of that, because when you get where you're supposed to be, where you're meant to be, all of it comes back. Like everything you ever thought that you were missed, nothing is lost. Nothing. It all comes back. So just relax and discover your pathway to God. So today is a Jupiter day, and Jupiter is really the planet that we say is God. It's the luck, the blessings, the expansion. It's all the things that we say we love the most. And that's true to some degree. It also is the planet that when you don't have discipline and balance, that you trying to plug in my laptop to see if that'll work. Okay. Trust. Okay. It's also the planet that when you don't have discipline and balance, um, where you can overdo it, okay, that's not working. Trying to charge my tablet. Yeah, where things can become in excess. You just want to be mindful of. That's the story of like Jesus and the devil. It's just balance. That's all it is. It's like expansion and contraction. Expansion and contraction, Jupiter and Saturn, and we need both. If we don't have both, we run off the cliff. We use up all the resources in ways that won't benefit us. Like we have to have the light and the dark, the good and the bad. The two go together. They work. Like one of the things that I've had to really make peace with is our human experience. Um, and how it serves. Like, so my human experience as a Black person in this body, so the human story about being a Black person in America is like slavery and oppression and all of these horrible things. But really, that's a real way of just saying a contraction, right? We had a contraction, and Black people carry the original DNA of humans. So when the original DNA has to go into a contraction, that means it went internal to create, right? The contraction, if you understand the creative process, you contract and you expand. You contract and you expand. If you understand the birthing process, if you're a mother and you've had a child or more, you understand that the child comes here through processes of contracting and expanding, contracting and expanding, contracting. The universe is doing the same thing. The universe is in a process of always birthing itself. So Black people have been in an experience of contraction, and now we're coming into an experience of expansion. Why? Because we lead the creative process. And so now we are coming out of our contracting experience and into an expansion experience. And the others who have been in an expansion experience are going into a contraction experience. Now, we call this in our human experience slavery and oppression and white people and Black people and haves and have-nots, but it's just nature doing what nature does. Now, the question is, as a human being, all you need to do is become conscious and get where you want to be. Get out of the contraction and into the expansion, because you're human and you have consciousness. That's the difference in humans and animals or nature, is that we actually can choose where we desire to be if we're awake enough to do it. If you're not awake enough, then you're just at the effect of everything, like like animals or like trees. Like the tree can't do anything about the storm that's raining down on it. But the animals who are conscious and aware can go into a cave or prepare, right? So as human beings, we have consciousness, so we can decide where we're going to be. Are we going to be in the contraction, or are we going to be in the expansion? Now, here's the thing. You're going to have to do both, right? So how do you do both, right? It's not about avoiding anything. This is a natural system. You're not going to be able to avoid contractions and expansion. But you can be in the rhythm. You can choose. You can navigate it. You do have dominion. So you know how the laws work. They work with expansion and contraction. Now, how are you going to work that in your reality? So Jupiter is about expansion, and Jupiter's in Pisces right now. And Pisces is the mind is Pisces is the subconscious, the dreams, right? And so right now, it's important for you to know, for all of us to know, that everything that we are doing here, our souls already mapped out. That's what the astrology tells us, the natal chart. Your soul already decided this. You really are in service to something that you created before you got here. You're in service to patterns and things that you created before you got here. Now, because I've lived long enough now, because I'm in my 50s, I can look back and see. Oh, I had to go through that. I had to go through that. Things that I was in such resistance to, things that I fucking hated, things that I was like, right? Like when my mother died and my father died and having a child with special needs. All that stuff was stuff that my soul had already put in place. Before I got here, the soul said, this is what you're up to. This is what you're going to be doing. And the reason I can say this now is because I remember knowing that, oh, you're going to have a child. I remember sitting down, talking with a friend, saying to my friend, I feel like I'm going to have a child with special needs, long before I was pregnant, and sure enough, because my soul already knew it. And so What I know now that I didn't know then is that I was just in resistance to this ego experience. It's painful to live some of this stuff out in the body. But when we can accept it more, then we can go more easily through the contractions and expansions, contraction and expansion, right? So with Jupiter at the 16th degree of Pisces, the subconscious, it's like there's stuff you already know in there. You know. And if you sit down and shut the fuck up and turn off everything and get silent, your soul will tell you what you already know. Your soul will reveal it to you if you ask, if you listen. The Jupiter's in Pisces. This is the time when you want to be spending enough time. Get what's my what am I here for? Tell me what do I need to know? What do I need to know? Write it down. Trust it. The things I'm experiencing now, I knew when I was in my 20s. I knew. I knew that I was going to have a child, and after I had a child, I was not going to go back to work because I was going to be adamant that I stayed home with the child. And then when the child got here, that's exactly what happened. And then I struggled against it as if I didn't already know it. I already knew it. The man that I married, I already knew that I was going to marry him when I met him. And when we started going through our stuff, I could have just chilled out and been like, we get married anyway. But instead, I chased and ran, and because the human drama is what it is. I could not have done it any differently. But I'm sharing this now with you guys. And maybe you guys can do it differently. Maybe you don't have to suffer as much. Or maybe you do, and that's fine too. But I'm telling you, the things that you know, the things that you know, just allow yourself to know them and not doubt. Like I had to work with a lot of doubt. I have Saturn in the first house. So my confidence is a fucking bitch, okay? My confidence is like I constantly am having to negotiate with myself. Constantly like, it's okay. You can do it. My confidence is like sand going through and you guys are probably like, how could that be true? It is the truth. My confidence is like -2. It's the truth. It is really the truth. Right. Saturn. If Saturn in the 12th house, it's like, right, exactly. So my confidence, the reason my confidence is the way that it is because it delayed me. Because I've always known what I know now. But if my confidence had been strong at 3 or 12 or 20, I wouldn't be here now doing this. I wouldn't be. It was like I would have been way before my time. But now I get it. Now I see it, and now I have the confidence that that just was to swipe me and knock me over, and I was always looking out at other people and thinking they were better off, and not realizing that where I was exactly where I was supposed to be. So whatever the delays occur as, know that it's just you got to wait. But while you're waiting, what are you doing? You're preparing yourself. You're learning, you're studying, you're growing. You're strengthening yourself. You're strengthening yourself while you are waiting, while Saturn, the contraction, because I had a contraction from the time I came out of my mother's yaya until a few years ago. I had a contraction. And so now the expansion is happening. And Jupiter is the expansion. And Jupiter at the 16th degree of Pisces is unity. And what are you unifying with? Literally. But this Jupiter energy is about your faith. So you want to unify with the vision that you are called to. You want to unify with your faith. Faith is an actual thing, like eating and listening and speaking and walking. Faith is as real as those things. It's an invisible faculty of our human expression. So don't think that faith is just no, faith is real. You're using it whether you think you are or not. If you get in your car and drive, you have the faith that you're going to get to where you're going. You see yourself getting there, even before you're there. When you know you're going to talk to somebody, you know what they look, the faith, you literally, your faith is a real thing. So you want to unify with your faith. Unify with the vision that's being called through you. And it's important that you know that you're here for something. You don't have to know what you're here for. You don't have to know it, but some of you do. You just are doubting it. You just don't have the confidence. You're just too focused externally. So you're not cultivating inside of yourself enough to really be foundational in yourself. So, the faith, you've got to cultivate your relationship to the faith. So you actually believe in what you're doing. You have to believe it. I mean, everything. I told you guys the story before how I used to work at oh, it's so hilarious. I worked at a marketing place when I lived in New York, and I used to call people and ask them, how would you feel about having a cell phone that had a camera on it? I thought it was the worst fucking idea ever. I was like, this is stupid. Why would anybody want to have a camera and a phone with them all the time? And I just thought it was ridiculous. But the people who were developing that product had the faith. They had the faith and they cultivated and they saw it and they saw a whole culture. And these motherfuckers have revolutionized the whole reality because of this thing. And I was sitting in that company thinking, what a stupid idea. But I was still in the energy of creation. Even though I was at odds with it and resistant to it, the universe put me exactly where I needed to be. So I would have this story now to remember, to know like, oh, I thought it was horrible. And the whole world is doing it now. So it's really important to know that wherever you are is exact. You might be somewhere right now that you hate, that you think this is the worst place ever, but it is, you are there for a reason. And the best thing you can do is just get curious. Why am I here? Why am I in this particular, why am I in this relationship? Why am I with this person? Why am I? Yes, because it is serving something. You need to connect to your faith, your vision, right? And you, the only way you do that is by asking within, spending time cultivating it. Let me see here. I swear, thank you for that. White men have always had faith, sadly directed in the wrong way, but they have faith. They do have faith because the world, they have set the world up to mirror them, to give them the confidence, right? And they broke us down to take away. They literally created themselves as God, right? They made Jesus a white person. They created a religion that is completely in opposition to natural cycles. White men have rearranged reality in their favor. And let me tell you, that's how the game is fucking played. They played the game. They did. Now, if we keep doing it, who's the dummy? If we keep doing it, if we keep staying in it, and especially when we realize that the universe will say yes to anything, the universe said yes to them, and the universe will say yes to anything if we are willing to put all our energy and attention in the direction of where we desire to go. So they did it. They did it. I applaud them. Now it's our turn. Now that we see how it works, we can do something else. So what kind of reality do we want to build? And we have to have the faith. We have to connect with the vision inside of ourselves. And we have to be deliberate and intentional and taking actions from the inside out, not from the outside in. The thing that's tricky about their reality is that their reality is built from the outside in. So that's why it will crumble. It will crumble because it's built from the outside in. Because they went against natural cycles, they have created something that doesn't allow people to connect to themselves. So now we can recreate something from the inside out rather than the outside in. You get it? So because of that, literally, this is everything. Nature always wins. Nature always wins. So we're going to build something else. Unify with your faith. Unify with the part of you that trusts. unify with something greater than you, and unify with the understanding. So for me, I had to go understand the cycles. That's why I talk and preach the moon cycles, because I had to unify with something consistent. I could see it. I needed something. I needed to prove it. Okay, because I needed to prove that this invisible thing works. These cycles have been running for billions of years. The sun is never late. The sun has never, ever been late. The moon is never off course. It is never, ever, ever off course. It has never, it does not exist. It has been doing the same things since eternity started that we know of. And so when we really want to build our faith, for me to build my faith, I had to go and see where can I latch myself? Where can I drop my anchor? Where can I know and I can count and know every day the sun is going to be here every day? Okay, so now that I can feel it, I feel the rhythm. I'm like, okay, now I can go do this because I know this is going to be there at that time every day. And that helped me build my faith, building my faith, building my faith, building my faith. And then it's like, because it's magic, okay, I'm going to come here at this time and the energy is this way. I want to see this. Boom, and there it is. Because it works in tandem with your consciousness. But it's invisible. And you have to nurture it from that invisible place until it comes to the external reality. And it will come in the perfect timing, but you have to unify with it. The moon is in Gemini today, and we're at the last quarter phase. So today is a day where you need to up level your thinking. And so you want to look at, is there a duality going on inside of you? Is there a place in your reality where you are wobbling, where you are in between yourselves? Because the moon is in Gemini. So think about it, right? Think about, is there anything going on in you where you can just make a centimeter of a shift and it'll be a huge difference? A tiny shift. So let me tell you guys what mine is so you know. So I am in a place of, oh gosh, let me see if I can get it out loud. So I am a Gemini moon, and I am, one of the things to really be aware of with the Gemini moon is you're speaking. What you speak comes into existence. And so, but you want to speak what you want to come into existence. And what we think is always coming to manifestation in our, so the life you're living now is the one you thought into existence yesterday, the one that you spoke into existence yesterday. So you just want to speak a new reality. And with Jupiter in your faith, right, it's like really just speaking yourself as you really intend to be. I am abundant, I am wealthy, I am aligned, all my needs are met. My son is thriving. I am happy and joyful and peaceful. I am exuberant, right? Like really just speaking things into existence. You have to speak those things that be not as though they were, right? That's faith. And so because this is a Jupiter day, you want to speak your faith. You want to speak things that be not as though they were. Speaking your faith. So something that's in the internal reality that isn't external yet, you want to speak it into, and I'm telling you, this stuff is so subtle. The subtleties will fuck your head up, right? How I study this stuff is recently I've been studying Qigong, and the energy in our systems we are feminine first. We are all feminine first. And then the energy runs through the system, the feminine, the internal, the receptive, and then right at the urethra where you release your water to pee, we go into yang, the masculine. Right as and literally we come from the inside to the external. You release water through your urine. All of this stuff is connected. our emotions, our thoughts, our creative process, our food, everything is doing the same thing. And when you can begin to understand how it works, it strengthens your faith because you see that it's happening at the smallest level and it's happening at the biggest level. It's happening in the invisible and it's happening in the mundane. But you have to bring your awareness to it, to see, to learn where your energy has been misdirected so that you can fix the, it's like if your pipes break in your house, you have to go through and find out where is the thing, where has it been compromised, and replace that pipe. You have to do that in your consciousness. You have to do that in your consciousness. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful day. Um, Sign up for natal chart readings so that you can begin to learn how to use your chart. And what else is going on? We're having a full moon in Virgo. It's not coming until the 18th, so we have time for that. But with that, I love you all. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful day. Bye, everyone.